Hey everybody, it's Superintendent Mark just wishing you a Merry Cosmic Christmas. And I'm going to tell you a cosmic Christmas tale, the kind you don't typically hear on Christmas Eve, but it's found in Revelation chapter 12. An enormous red dragon with burning eyes and fangs dripping with venom lurks menacingly at the feet of Mary as she cries out in the pains of childbirth. The horrible beast is poised to devour newborn Jesus as soon as the infant crowns and before he can take his first breath. But just before the infant can become monster food, he's snatched up by the hand of God to a divine throne, ready to rule there with an iron scepter and bring salvation to the world. Now that's a Christmas story. This version of Christmas from Revelation 12 is not the vision most of us have when we think of the Nativity. You know, singing donkeys, little drummer boys, kings bearing gifts, and angel shine shepherds fill our casual imagery of Christmas. Our half biblical commercial Christmas has become a global bestseller, so that even Shinto Japanese in Tokyo sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and exchange gifts on Christmas Day. For most, Christmas is just plain good family fun. But in reality, Christmas is a cosmic story in every sense of the word. John the Revelator paints a vivid verbal depiction of the Queen of the Cosmos. Quote, a great and wondrous sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. Revelation 12:1. Early church scholars like Hippolytus of Rome and Methodius of Olympus, all in the third century, saw this imagery depicting both Mary and the church. After all, this cosmic queen lies out in pain as she delivers a baby. Verse 4, who is a quote, male child who will rule the nations and is the salvation and power of the kingdom of our God. Verses 5 and 10. The opponent of the woman clothed with the sun is, in verse 2, the terrible red dragon, the common metaphor for both Satan personified and the evil powers and authorities of this dark world. In this epic cosmic battle of a demonic dragon, able to sweep a third of the stars and fling them to earth with its massive tail, verse 3, facing off against the most vulnerable of all things, a woman caught in the painful throes of bearing a helpless infant, verses 4 through 5, depicts the brutally unfair odds and impossible victory that Christmas really is. In a sentence, Revelation 12, 4 through 5 moves through the entire Christ event, from Christmas, the birth of a vulnerable baby nearly into the jaws of a vicious beast, to Easter, snatched from utter destruction into eternal power. The whole Christmas story really launches and comprises the Christ event, birth, life, crucifixion, and resurrection, and eventual global rule of the Son of God. But the dragon story doesn't end in ancient Bethlehem. Rather, again, with Christmas as a tale of epically cosmic proportion, a battle in the heavens ensues between the mighty warrior angel Michael and his divine hosts against the fearsome and loathsome enemy of all that is good, the red dragon. It's kind of like Rocky versus Drago, but in more than real life. Michael overpowers the demonic forces, and these hellish spawn are cast down to earth from heaven. But while on earth, the enraged and defeated red dragon takes up his war against the woman and her offspring, who are those who obey God's commands and hold to the testimony of Jesus. Verse 17. Christmas is cosmic. Truly, Christmas launches the biggest battle between good and evil, light and dark, with the woman and the dragon, and the baby and the beast. We still live in the midst of this cosmic battle. in which the odds pretty much always seem stacked in favor of darkness and devils. But in the midst of this fantastical nativity tale is the Revelator's reminder, verse 12. The devil has gone down to you. He is filled with fury because he knows his time is short. And they, Christ followers, overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. We live this out today around the world. Christ followers are stalked still by the terrifying red dragon in his most furious and vicious of forms. Our faith siblings in our sister conference in Myanmar are living out their Christianity painfully in the midst of the dragon waiting to devour them. But they stand firm. Our brothers and sisters living in the midst of Islamic reform movements face certain rejection by their families and sometimes death itself, as the red dragon seeks to dishearten children of the cosmic queen yet today. And the red dragon, the serpent, remains crafty, and many, even in the USA, are duped into trading true devotion for Jesus for a nationalistic faith, reminiscent of all the ancient devotions, all the ancient rulers, and all the ancient principalities who've always promised order and prosperity in the form of godliness without its power. The nativity tale of the cosmic queen versus the red dragon brings Christmas from a 2,000-year-old tale set in the backwoods of Bethlehem into the daily news of every nation around the world today. The battle still rages. The devil is still furious, but his days are numbered. And that helpless baby born 2,000 years ago, Jesus, to a mother bathed in starlight, still gives victory through even the darkest of days to those who remain steadfast in their faith. So the next time you tell your kids the Christmas story, be sure to, of course, mention the angels and the wise men and maybe throw in a few animals in the stable and all that. But try adding a defeated red dragon to the mix. Make it ultra real, cosmically real, because Christmas really is. Merry Christmas, friends. To Christ, all glory and honor and victory.